o'clock right now. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. But I'm actually headed down to a city called Macon, Georgia, going down to Bibb County. Today is it's one of them days that, as a real estate investor, it's like you hate, but I mean, it's necessary evil, Today we got an eviction that we got to do. I'm actually headed to the court. See, I'm dressed up and whatnot. Headed to the dispossessory hearing. And in the dispossessory hearing, all they do really is they try to figure out what happened and why the landlord filed on the tenant. And most of the time it's the tenant is late on rent or they broke some kind of lease violation, but in this situation it's the tenant is 3 months behind on rent, and it's we do everything we can to give them the benefit of the doubt, but at some point you gotta file on them. So today is the hearing, and we'll see how it go. Normally I would have a lawyer go to this, but this one, the dude was paying, and I guess life happened to him or whatever, so he's behind right now. So yeah, hopefully we can work out some kind of payment arrangement where you gotta go. So yeah, I'm gonna keep y'all posted on what happens. But Macon is an hour and a half from Atlanta, so I think my court time is at 10 or 10:30, something like that. So yeah, I'm trying to make it down there on time and whatnot, because everybody, all the people down there, the clerks and stuff, everybody in the court, they all got an attitude, man. So I really don't like to fool with them too much. But I'm gonna just get down there and wait for them to call the case and just kind of tell my side what's happening, And like I said, evictions is really a necessary evil, you know what I mean? It cut both ways, because a lot of people right now, especially in the Atlanta area, housing is so scarce, inventory is so low. So everybody's now, the new phrase, the new term is, affordable housing. I get that, right? I get that prices are going up, but we really got to ask ourselves why prices are going up as far as housing. And a lot of times it's because of, you get tenants who stay in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, especially with COVID, people staying 6 months and not paying. The landlord, if their only inventory is the space and somebody's occupying the space for free, not paying, well, yeah, when the landlord finally gets them out, they might have to bump the rent. The rent's probably gonna go up. So if we want to talk about affordable housing, we really got to address a lot of these things. And I'm not saying that, obviously COVID-19 is really an outlier. That's the extreme. But I don't know. It's a lot of, I live in Georgia. It's I guess you could say it's a landlord friendly state or whatever. But some states are not. California, New York, some of the states are not. It's tenants can stay for months at a time. A lot of the evictions this year have been delayed because of COVID. So normally it wouldn't take 3 months, but we've been trying to work with tenants and we understand the circumstance. But at some point, right, you gotta kind of put a stop loss. The same on the trade, right? You gotta put a stop loss. So yeah, by that going on that second month, after that second month, yeah, we filing, because we do everything to work with you, payment arrangements, all that, But anyway, yeah, we headed down here and we shall see. I'm not gonna believe this. Okay, so I just got a call. I'm driving. I'm on my way down there to the courthouse, the Bibb County courthouse or whatever. I get a call from one of the clerks of the court, and she was like, "Is this such and such?" I'm like, "Yeah, She was like, "The tenant just called and said they had COVID-19. They've been diagnosed with COVID-19." I just cut her off immediately. I'm like, "Look, I'm en route. I'm already 30 minutes away from there. So, we'll talk about it when I get there." You know what I mean? So, hey, if the tenant got COVID-19, maybe they have it. They probably don't. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Being sick is not a legal defense to whatever the case is. It's not a legal defense. So I just wonder how this is going to play out. Bibb County, man, they different, man. They weird. Like I said, Georgia is historically not a tenant-friendly state. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that tenants don't have rights. It's just that the law is the law, and the law generally leans toward the landlord. You know what I mean? If the landlord has stated a claim of, a dispossessory, the only appropriate legal defense is, there really is no appropriate legal defense. I can't think of one, off the top. It's like you either paid your rent or you met the terms of the agreement or you didn't. I can't think of a legal defense that would stop somebody from getting put out. You know what I mean? This whole COVID-19, like right now, there's, methods and tactics that tenants can do to delay it, but, it's going to happen. And I think situations like this, I think is dangerous, and it's more so dangerous for the tenant because, there's some bad landlords out there that, may take actions into their own hands, which is not a good thing to do. Like some of those illegal evictions where they might go change the locks on the tenant's door or cut their water off or cut the power off. Like, you don't want it to get to that point. And I feel like when the courts delay like this, it forces landlords to take actions in their own hands, which is not good. The court should be an unbiased third party. They should be the mediator between the dispute between these two parties. And when the court fails to take action, fails to hear the case for whatever reason, if they delay the process, I feel like the court has some burden to bear in that as well. Not saying that we would ever do anything like that, but some people do it. And Bibb County, man, they real weird, man. If we have a court date on this date, we expect to be seen this date. We expect to be heard this date. If the tenant don't show up, then it's gonna proceed just as if they, for whatever reason they didn't show up. It's gonna proceed as if a no-show, and it's gonna be a default judgment. You know what I mean? But that's just really weird that she would even call me with that. But let's just see. Stay tuned. Let's see how this plays out, man. I don't know. I know they're gonna try to delay it, man. I feel like, they real weird up here. But we'll see. It's always something, man. So that's why I'm showing y'all the real, man. Everybody want to be in real estate, but it's like, what would you do in a situation like this? I'm really curious. I'm really curious. I got up 7 o'clock this morning, 6:30 or 7 o'clock this morning, driving 2 hours down here just to get a call when I'm 30 minutes out saying that the tenant got COVID-19, which is just an excuse. If you got COVID, have your attorney show up on your behalf. Have a loved one, have an agent show up on your behalf. They ain't got nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to be like mean about the situation. I'm actually trying to be fair by going through following the process and giving the tenant every benefit of the doubt. You already been staying for free for 3 months. Like what you think gonna happen? You know what I mean? So, but nah, like I don't play that, bro. It's like, nah. We need a conclusion to this chapter today. You know what I mean? The more it delays, the worse it gets for the tenant. And let me tell you what happens when you don't pay your rent and you get evicted, right? Not only is your credit probably going to be ruined because more than likely the account's going to be sent to collections, but the main challenge is that it makes it harder for you to find another place. And that's really the challenge. And when you talk about affordable housing, it's not that a lot of these people can't afford the place. A lot of times is that they don't meet the requirements to rent, and it actually pushes them into homelessness. So when you got an eviction on your record, I don't know too many landlords that are gonna take recent eviction. Like if you had an eviction within the last 3 years, good luck trying to rent a place, because it's gonna show up. If it don't show up on your credit report, it's gonna show up on your rental history. You know what I mean? A lot of property management systems and software are gonna report that you were delinquent. They can check, you can check, I think nationwide, somebody can search your name and search filings based on your name and your date of birth and stuff like that. And when you apply to rent an apartment, that's what they're doing. When they do the background check and credit check, that's what they're doing. They're searching not just your credit, but your rental history. So that's really the thing about when you get evicted. It just makes it harder for you to find another place. And think about the places that will accept a eviction. More than likely, it's going to be not so nice housing. You're going to have to pay more as maybe a higher security deposit, taking more money out your pocket. So long story short, don't let it get to that point, man. If you're having challenges for whatever reason, if you lost your job, communicate that with your landlord. So hopefully they will work with you. You know what I mean? It's expensive for a landlord to file an eviction. You know what I mean? And go through the hassle and of dealing with the court and the legal system. They don't, more than likely, they don't want to do that. So hopefully they'll work with you. But for you to not communicate and just, you know, stop paying and like, that's never gonna work well for the tenant. Like, so that's just my advice. Like, if it's a money situation, man, please go back and watch my old videos, man. Like, money is like, making money is so easy. Like, the hardest part is really keeping it. So if you're getting evicted because you late on $400 rent, like, come on now, like that doesn't make any sense, you know. So go drive Uber, do something to figure that thing out, man. But to put yourself and your family in harm's way of being homeless, it's extremely irresponsible, you know. All right, y'all, so I just pulled up to the courthouse. I'm gonna go ahead and hustle in here. Looks like it's a line, so I know I gotta go through like security and whatever. Gotta put on my mask and whatnot. Let me go ahead and put on my mask for y'all, so y'all know I'm following the procedures, the COVID-19 procedures and whatnot. I'm put on my mask. There we go. So I got my mask on, so I'm about to go ahead and head in here, and I'm gonna keep y'all posted and let y'all know what the outcome is. Stay tuned. All right, y'all, so I'm just getting out the courthouse. See, it's right over there. And so pretty much what happened is, obviously the tenant lied and said they had COVID-19. So long story short, the case got continued. So pretty much what that means is that it's just gonna be delayed 2 weeks. They're gonna recall the case in 2 weeks or whatever. So it's really annoying. I mean, all that really does, it just puts them behind more on rent. So now they're gonna be going into another month and they're gonna owe another month of rent. They already behind 3 months. Now they're gonna be behind 4 months. Like, how does that help the situation? You know, if you actually had COVID or whatever, or if you couldn't make it for whatever reason, wouldn't it make sense to get somebody here on your behalf to like stop the bleeding? That's what you would think, right? But it's really annoying, because like I was asking the judge, I was like, okay, what about travel costs, you know, because it cost me something coming down here. She's like, oh, that's the cost of doing business. And I asked her, I was like, you know, I was like, COVID-19, I said, what's the legal defense? You know, she was like, oh, well, I told her, I was like, COVID-19 is not a legal defense. And she was like, oh, well, it's a human issue, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, here we go. That's how you know, like, they on some, it just don't make sense, man. It really don't make sense. So yeah, so I guess there will, long story short, there's gonna be a part 2 to this video. There's gonna be a part 2 to this video, and I'll keep you guys updated on the outcome. But yeah, I just drove 2 hours down here to be in court for 10 minutes just for her to tell me that it's gonna be recalled. So annoying.